Ooh, welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your WWE NXT Takeover Chicago review and results. Right off the bat, bro. Right off the bat. What can I say, bro? Another one of these NXT TakeOver Chicagos where almost every single match you're just sitting back and saying, wow, what a show. And that's exactly what we were saying here tonight. What a show. Each time that NXT comes out and puts on one of these takeover events, you're going to get the best quality wrestling in the entirety of the WWE. That's what you're going to get at these takeover events. Probably going to be better than Backlash tomorrow night. Probably better than any other show we've seen this year. When it comes to WWE events, when it comes to NXT, this show was on par with NXT TakeOver Orlando. I think this show was better than what we saw back in January with San Antonio. Just an amazing, amazing, amazing event. If you sit in front of your television for these 2.5 hours, you are going to understand why somebody like me comes out here and does this and sits in front of this microphone and talks about wrestling for God knows how long. I'm going to produce 8 videos with Backlash tomorrow. That's going to complete 8 videos this week, most of them being around 50 minutes. If there's a reason why I sit here and do this, it's because of shows like this. It's shows like this that make you feel proud to be a wrestling fan, because what we saw here tonight was nothing but that. It was wrestling. And tonight, with the wrestling, that's where you got the entertainment, bro. That's where you got the entertainment. With the wrestling, you got the entertainment. And that's what NXT does so right. They understand that to get that entertainment aspect out of wrestling, you don't need these drawn out promos or these overcomplicated storylines where there's 500 different factors driving this and that and blah, and who cares, bro? Who cares? NXT understands that it's the wrestling that's going to give you the entertainment and not some comedic skit that's going to give you the entertainment. Tonight's show was absolutely amazing. This show was a 9.5 out of 10. Something I haven't found myself saying about a WWE wrestling event. That's main roster we're talking. Each and every NXT takeover is a 9.5. But that's something you're not going to catch me saying about a WWE payback, about WrestleMania, which is supposed to be the biggest spectacle of the year. That's something you're not going to hear me saying about a Monday Night Raw. So this show just completely, if you had expectations for this show, you know those expectations were high, but this show still finds a way to take my high expectations and blow them out of the water. Absolutely fantastic time watching this pay-per-view, and I'm sorry, but I have to do this segue. You know where else you can find a fantastic time? Right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Listen to that segue, bro. Jesus Christ, I'm an asshole. But on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, you can find all this amazing content, Raw reviews, Smackdown reviews, already up for this week. I haven't missed a Raw review or Smackdown review in how long? And how long, bro? I don't think I've missed a Raw review since August 22nd, when I went to Monday Night Raw, and I got home like at 2 o'clock, so there's no way I was going to do a review then. But there's so many things you can find on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Just last Thursday, I uploaded breaking news story on CM Punk. CM Punk offered $1 million by a wrestling promotion, a British wrestling promotion, 5-Star Wrestling, to return to wrestling. Huge story there. Make sure to go check out that video. WWE Backlash, which is airing tomorrow. Preview and predictions for that. And there will be a review on this channel of WWE Backlash. Also, make sure to go check out the preview and predictions for NXT Takeover to see how I did on predicting what was going to go on in this show. And of course, just today, earlier today in the afternoon, I uploaded Behind the Mic, where we cover all the huge news stories going on in the WWE. This time, we talked about what was going on with the titles and the title changes that are going to happen throughout the summer, and there's a lot of them. So make sure to go check that out and see what I had to say about that. There's also other news stories in there. Kurt Angle and him going into wrestling. His date for going into the ring has been speculated, and it's speculated to be, well, I'm not going to tell you. Make sure to go check out the video to find that out. Also, a lot of other news stories in there, so make sure to go check that out. And, of course, make sure to like, make sure to comment what you thought of NXT TakeOver Chicago, and make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel for all this great content. For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight into talking about NXT TakeOver Chicago. This show was absolutely fantastic. Do I even need to repeat that? If you watched this show, you knew it was absolutely fantastic, and that's exactly what this show was. From head to toe, from beginning to end, this show had me hooked, and it was just a great time to be a wrestling fan while watching NXT TakeOver tonight. Every 2 months that they do this, you are going to be proud to be a wrestling fan, because these shows are absolutely fantastic, and that's exactly what it was here tonight. This show started off with Roderick Strong versus Eric Young, who put on a very, very good match to start off the show, and it was just great. It was great. It was just a great show with the dynamic that they portrayed here between Roderick Strong and Eric Young. All this great stuff right off the bat in this match. Roderick Strong came in and he went straight after Sanity, even attacking Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane during the match, but that would soon come to bite him in the ass, because the referee, while the referee wasn't looking, Killian Dane get a huge crossbody on Alexander Wolf, and that allowed Eric Young to really set the tone of the match and take control. He had a lot of big moves. This match was really centered around this underdog story. Eric Young beating down Roderick Strong. He continues to beat him down. He continues to beat him down. He continues to beat him down. And then in the end, Eric Young hit a bunch of big moves, took out Sanity. They were battling the top rope in the end here. They were battling the top rope, and should I say, Roderick Strong hit a big enziguri. Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane were on the outside. Eric Young falls onto both of them. That takes out both members of Sanity who were on the outside. Nikki Cross was not on the outside. Of course, she had her NXT Women's Championship match here tonight. But Eric Young went on to his members of Sanity. He goes back in the ring, met with a knee, and then Roderick Strong's finisher, which I don't know the name of. It's pretty much he flipped Young on back first into his knees. So that's Roderick Strong's finisher. Great match. It was a great show starter. Really built the hype. The Chicago crowd here tonight was absolutely livid. They made this match a lot better, and that's what these exciting crowds
manage to do. They make these matches more exciting. They make these matches a lot better. I like the fact that they picked Roderick Strong to win. They're keeping that babyface momentum strong. They're putting a lot of stock in Roderick Strong, and that could warrant an NXT Championship match with Bobby Roode in the future. And you know what? After seeing this match and seeing what Roderick Strong can do in that ring, when he was in the ring with Hideo Itami 2 weeks ago, and now in the ring with Eric Young, Roderick Strong is quickly becoming one of the top guys in NXT, and this match was absolutely fantastic. He overcame Sanity tonight. It makes you wonder what Eric Young is going to be doing. Proceeding. I mean, he's taken the L to Ty Dillinger as he was leaving NXT, and he's taken the L to Roderick Strong. So is Eric Young gonna keep putting guys over, or is he going to be put over himself? That's an interesting question. But Roderick Strong has a lot of momentum. I'm gonna see where he goes next, bro. Going to be interesting to see where he goes next. He can go into something. I would love to see Roderick Strong versus Aleister Black. You have Drew McIntyre. These are all great matches. Roderick Strong has a lot of stock, and I would love to see this guy in the NXT Championship scenario. But I do think that the guy who's going to be in the NXT Championship scenario is going to be Drew McIntyre. So we're going to discuss that later when we actually do get to the NXT Championship match. But for now, let's discuss what was easily the match of the night for so many reasons. Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Oh my God, was this match amazing. I'll go as far as to say this was a 5-star match. This was an absolutely 5-star match. Everything fell into place. From JR, who actually got an announcement here tonight. He was introduced by the ring announcer, got an amazing ovation, did JR. He was commentating this match. That made it a lot better as well, as long as the fact that it was a 2-man commentary booth, the way Nigel McGuinness and JR blend into each other on that commentary booth was absolutely fantastic. The crowd, which was absolutely amazing here tonight in NXT Takeover Chicago. Oh my God, was this crowd amazing. And then you had what was going on in the ring, which was bar none amazing. There was a point in this matchup where there was an Pete Dunne did an X-Plus release suplex onto the apron, which is pretty much a flip from the suplex position onto the apron. Looked absolutely brutal. Another point in this match where Pete Dunne went for the X-Plus again, yet Tyler landed on his feet and did a somersault onto Dunne, which looked absolutely beautiful. There was another point in this match where Tyler Bate went for a crossbody up to the turnbuckle straight into a Pete Dunne forearm, and Jesus Christ, then he got put into an X-Plex into a power bomb. Huge near fall in this match, but Tyler Bate manages to amazingly kick out. There was another point, so many highlights to this matchup, where Pete Dunne went for the pump handle flatliner, the bitter end pump handle flatliner, which is his finisher, and Tyler Bate did a beautiful DDT, which looked absolutely crazy. In the end, Dunne went to the outside. So from the second turnbuckle, Bate hit a beautiful moonsault right onto Dunne, who was on the outside, followed by a corkscrew 450, which also sent Dunne to the outside. And when Tyler Bate went for the tope suicida onto the outside, he meant nothing but Pete Dunne's forearm, and from there it was all but over in this amazing match. Pete Dunne rolled Bate back in and hit that bitter end pump handle flatliner, and the match, which was absolutely amazing. The emotion you heard from JR and Nigel McGuinness on commentary, the emotion that you heard from the crowd, and the beautiful in-ring work of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne just made this match absolutely fantastic. And you know what? Pete Dunne won the Bruiserweight, the UK Championship tournament. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne won the United Kingdom Championship in this match, and I am absolutely happy. Pete Dunne is a legitimate goddamn fighter, and he is going to bring a lot of legitimacy to that UK Championship. You can tell that the WWE is so high on Pete Dunne. This guy is absolutely amazing in the ring. He has an amazing heel character. Absolutely brutal, everything he does in that ring. Pete Dunne is just an amazing athlete. And I really cannot wait to see what he does with that UK Championship, especially after this amazing match. You've got to be hyped for what Pete Dunne is going to do with that title. And you've got to be hyped probably to see a rematch between Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, which is inevitably coming. Tyler Bate has a rematch, and I mean, I cannot wait to see it. They did fantastic things. I feel like there was more emotion behind the UK Championship Tournament finale match, but I feel like this match was overall better than the one we saw in the UK Championship finale, because Jesus Christ, I mean, the moves we saw, all these spots that we saw, the commentating, the crowd, everything was just perfect here tonight. And I feel like the emotion at the UK Championship finale, I mean, with Pete Dunne just destroying everybody in this tournament, Tyler Bate really being this underdog. He's only 19 years old when the UK Championship Tournament had taken place. Now he's 20, and now Pete Dunne got his retribution, won the UK Championship here tonight. Fantastic match. As of so far, keeping the UK Championship division on NXT has been the most brilliant decision WWE has made. If they would have done that with the Cruiserweight division, imagine all the matches the Cruiserweights would be having right now, because the UK Championship division really is probably one of the best divisions overall that WWE has right now. They've put on some amazing matches, and I think as of right now, Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate here tonight was the match of the year. Let's see if a match tomorrow on Backlash could top that. I mean, tomorrow night on Backlash, we're getting Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. We're getting Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So there are some matches that could possibly contend what is going on, or what went on in that matchup that we saw here tonight between Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. But the innovation, the athleticism, and the movesets of both Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate is absolutely amazing, and it was just a fantastic match. I cannot wait to see this match again, and this is one of the biggest reasons why this NXT TakeOver was an absolute success. Fantastic match here tonight. Fantastic. We go on to Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. We saw another fantastic affair here for the women. Just absolutely great. Absolutely great what the women did in this match. Really fantastic, interesting dynamic between Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, and Asuka, and they really did put it all on the line, and you really saw in perspective really what this match was worth. In the middle of this match, they showed Ember Moon watching this match from afar in the arena. Seeing the dynamics between these three women was absolutely fantastic. There were so many great spots in this match. There was one where Asuka had Cross in German suplex position, and Riott hit a huge super kick that allowed Asuka to elevate Cross into that German. There was a huge near fall where Riott, she looked for a top rope leg drop. Asuka got out of the way, locked in the Asuka lock. I thought that Ruby Riott was going to tap out. There was a moment where I thought she was tapping out, moving her hand back and forth, but But no, Nikki Cross came in the middle of it and broke it up, which was absolutely crazy. I thought the match was over right there. There was a super creative moment in this match where Cross planted Riot on the ring apron, and when Asuka went for the basement dropkick onto the outside, Nikki Cross got crafty here and actually caught Asuka in between the ring apron, and she caught Asuka in between the ring apron and just started teeing off on Asuka. Absolutely creative thinking by Nikki Cross, an absolutely creative spot there. I loved that spot, absolutely loved it. It was just a very well put together match, and these women gelled together so nicely, much better than the last multi-women match we saw for this NXT Women's Championship, which was the Fatal 4-Way between Nikki Cross, Asuka, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. I mean, that match was interesting, but really all we wanted to see was the dynamic between Nikki Cross and Asuka. And here tonight we saw a lot more of that dynamic. It was very interesting to see, as well as Ruby Riott and Asuka. Ruby Riott absolutely solidified herself as one of the top women in NXT. Just everything that happened in this match really made Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott look good, and it made Asuka look like, if you can even make Asuka look like more of a beast at this point, it did make Asuka look like more of a beast, because in the end here, Riott, she hit her Pele kick on Nikki Cross. It looked like the match was over, but Asuka came in. She had previously been taken out. Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott actually worked together to double clothesline Asuka out, but Asuka did make it back in, and when she did, she hit Riott with a huge knee after Riott hit her finisher on Nikki Cross. She hit Riott with that huge knee, and she did something so beastly. She didn't just pin Ruby Riott, but she pinned Nikki Cross as well. She got the double pin on Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott, and you somehow just made Asuka look like even more of a beast on NXT TakeOver here tonight. So yes, Asuka retains the NXT Women's Championship. I thought there was no doubt that she was going to win this match, but it was so great to see the ride to seeing her just retain once again. And I think come NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, this is probably the second biggest takeover of the year. You have the WrestleMania weekend takeover, Orlando. That takeover was huge. Here tonight, you had Chicago, just a mid-year takeover, and it was absolutely fantastic. Brooklyn is probably the biggest takeover we have left. It's been huge. Last year, it was huge the first time around, and here we're going to get NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, and I cannot wait to see that. I say Ember Moon is going to defeat Asuka for the first time ever at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, and she will capture that NXT Women's Championship. They've done such a great job at building the retribution of Ember Moon, and I think she's finally going to get that at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. We go to, well, Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami. This was very, very weird how they positioned this match, but it made complete sense. It made absolute sense at the end of it, because what we saw at the end of the show was crazy. But in this match here, Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode didn't go on last. Very rare for NXT. I expect to see that on the main roster. But no, it happened in NXT, so it did not go on last, but there was a reason for that, and we will discuss that later in the main event. But Bobby Roode, like always, had an absolutely glorious entrance here tonight. Oh my god. There was a goddamn piano version of his theme being played on an LED piano. It was displayed on the Titantron and on the LED ramp that they have. Looked absolutely wonderful, and it was displayed, and just another glorious entrance for Bobby Roode. Hideo Itami made a normal entrance. He doesn't even wear the overcoat, that nice yellow overcoat, to the ring anymore. But Hideo Itami versus Bobby Roode, this was a great match. This was an absolutely great match. And there was a huge near fall in this match. Getting right into the action here. There was a huge near fall in this match where Bobby Roode hit the glorious DDT. And I thought it was all over. I mean, I was on the fence about who was going to win this match between Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode. Because, I mean, Hideo Itami, you really do have that underdog story there. I don't think the crowd was ready for him. Necessarily, I didn't think the crowd was ready for Hideo Itami since he's been out so long. He's been in and out. They weren't ready to see him win the NXT Championship, but the storytelling is there. I mean, Hideo Itami's been in and out, and he's been in NXT for 3 years, but he's only gotten to compete for one. And here tonight, he might have finally captured what he set out to do in capturing that NXT Championship. And the story was set up, but in the end, Bobby Roode, the glorious Bobby Roode, did win here tonight. He hit a glorious DDT, huge near fall here. His arm, which Hideo Itami had been working on the entire match, he was actually, after he hit the glorious DDT, holding that arm. Took him a while to get to the pinfall. That allowed Itami to kick out. And there was another near fall where Hideo Itami hit the GTS, but Bobby Roode rolled out. It was absolutely crazy. I thought it was all but over. I was like, oh my god, Hideo Itami's NXT champion, but no. In the end, Hideo Itami exposed his knee. He was looking for one last GTS after a grueling affair, just a huge battle that these two had. But in the end, Bobby Roode went from the GTS. He reversed it into a glorious DDT. Huge lift by Bobby Roode. And he didn't just hit one, but he hit two. And in the end, Bobby Roode retains the NXT Championship. Great match between Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode, but it just was not Itami's night. Here tonight, Bobby Roode retained the NXT Championship, but I don't think that he's going to retain it much longer because Drew McIntyre is now in NXT, and Bobby Roode's fate might be to lose to Drew McIntyre. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the main event of the evening. It was DIY versus the Authors of Pain in a ladder match. Oh my god, did these guys leave it all in the ring here tonight. Like before, like at NXT Takeover Toronto, like we've seen at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2, like we've seen at NXT Takeover Orlando, like we've seen every single time that the DIY Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, like we've seen each and every single time that they come out here, we got another classic. Jesus Christ, what a match. The most notable spot of this match, there was a point in this match where the Authors of Pain set up the two ladders from the ring to the barricade, and they tried to put Ciampa and Gargano through the ladder. But no, Gargano and Ciampa got out of that predicament. They hit super kicks that sent the Authors of Pain onto the ladders, and there was one huge ladder set up from earlier in the match. There was one huge ladder set up. Gargano and Ciampa climbed that huge ladder, positioned at ringside, and they made huge dives, bro. Huge dives onto Akam and Rezar. Absolutely crazy spot. There was another point in this match where all four members of this match, they were slugging it out on top of ladders, and DIY won the affair, leaving Gargano alone on the ladder. But Paul Ellering came in. He knocked Gargano off the ladder. He threw the ladder down, and Gargano got pissed off. That caused him to super kick Paul Ellering. So even Paul Ellering took a bump in this match. There was another point in this match where Rezar climbed the ladder. He climbed the ladder to take the titles, and they had just hit Gargano. It was Ciampa who was about to get hit with a huge wrecking ball swing of this ladder from both Authors of Pain. but Gargano pushed Ciampa away, and that shows the sacrifice that Gargano was able to make. And that's why this was such good storytelling, and you'll get what I'm talking about when we're done talking about this. But he pushed Ciampa out of the way, took the hit, and when Razor, I believe, climbed the ladder, Ciampa went up, took him, and he did like some sort of rock bottom onto a ladder that was propped down below. Looked absolutely brutal. Crowd went crazy. There was another spot where Akam had the ladder stuck on his head, and they did their finisher, which is the double knees to the head. That was crazy. In the end, Gargano and Ciampa are about to grab the titles. They're both up there. They're both getting it, but somehow the Authors of Pain managed to kick the ladder down. That leaves Gargano and Ciampa hanging from the little hanger that they have there to grab the titles. They're hanging from it. The Authors of Pain take them down into power bomb position, and they do the Super Collider and retain the tag team titles once again. It was one power bomb, picks them back up, crash both Ciampa and Gargano into each other, and then back down into a power bomb. They climb the ladder. 1, 2, I don't even know why I'm counting, but it was over, and quicker than 1, 2, 3, the Authors of Pain retained the titles. But what was important was what happened after the match, because it looked like the show was going to end on the note of a DIY send-off, maybe even to the main roster. I was happy. I was going to use the bathroom, and then I heard a scream from Nigel McGuinness. He said, "Oh my God!" And I came back running, and I have heard rumors about this on it, and I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But Ciampa betrayed Johnny Gargano here tonight. And I was like, oh my God, why did they do this? Ciampa betrayed Johnny Gargano, hit him with a huge knee twice, propped him up on the announce table. He got him up in a fireman's carry, or like a white noise position. Sheamus does the white noise. It was a white noise position. He was on the announce table with Johnny Gargano on top of him. Jumps off the announce table into these tables down below. Absolutely brutal. And he destroyed Johnny Gargano here tonight. Instead of having it be a DIY send-off, the show came to a close with Ciampa sitting on the announce table and just looking down at a broken Gargano. And that's what brings me to the point I was trying to make earlier. You saw the sacrifice that Johnny Gargano was willing to make, pushed Ciampa away when the Authors of Pain were about to hit him with that ladder, pushed him away. And you see the sacrifices Gargano was able to make for Ciampa, but Ciampa just absolutely decimated after that loss. He absolutely decimated Gargano. And here tonight, it was Tommaso Ciampa who ended the night. And that is why this show came to a close with this match instead of the NXT Championship match, because this was absolutely crazy. Nobody would have seen this coming, and I don't think people would have even been thinking about that NXT Championship match if this had gone on before that. They'd still be thinking, why? Why did Ciampa do this? Why? And I'm still wondering why. Why did Ciampa do this? I mean, you think about it. NXT's tag team division needs tag teams right now. You really don't have many established tag teams besides the Authors of Pain, Heavy Machinery, and it was DIY. But now they're split up. I thought they were going on to the main roster. They were going to do great things. But these guys were destined to be each other's greatest rivals. And we saw exactly that same fate here tonight. We seen this last summer in the Cruiserweight Classic when these guys fought each other. These guys are both fantastic in the ring, and they both bring each other to the best match they can possibly have. And if these guys do face NXT Takeover Brooklyn, I'm telling you, that match is going to be absolutely revolutionarily fantastic. That's how good that match is going to be. Oh my God, is that match going to be absolutely fantastic if we do see it at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. Oh my God. And the rivalry these two are going to have is going to be amazing. We're already invested in this rivalry. I get it. I get it. We're already invested in this rivalry. These guys have been tag team partners. They've been through it all together. They were huge baby faces, and they were struggling to reclaim those tag team championships, but they knew they can do it. We were all rooting for them, and Ciampa just took that and threw it away. He took that and threw it away, and I know these guys are destined to be great singles competitors, and that's why that makes sense to me. That's why I'm not frustrated about this, because these guys, you knew that these guys were going to split up somehow, whether it was a peaceful way, whether it was a violent way like what we saw here tonight, but these guys were destined to split up because they're so good in singles competition that there's no way you're going to restrain Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa to a tag team role. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. And that's exactly what we saw come to fruition here tonight. Johnny Gargano betrayed by Tommaso Ciampa. The Authors of Pain retained the tag team titles, but that was quickly an afterthought after what we saw end this show. And it was just a grueling sight to see Ciampa just looking down at a broken Johnny Gargano. Absolutely amazing NXT TakeOver show. This show was head to toe fantastic. This show had your emotions going crazy. At one point you were absolutely excited, and at the end of the show you were absolutely heartbroken because we saw one of our favorite tag teams, DIY, been broken up here tonight. For now, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your NXT TakeOver review and results. I hope you enjoyed every single little thing that you heard in this video, because I have poured my heart and soul into this YouTube channel for the past week. So I hope you enjoyed everything that you have enjoyed in this video. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe. Make sure to go check out everything else on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Raw, Smackdown reviews up for this week. Breaking news on CM Punk offered $1 million. Make sure to go check out that video. Make sure to go check out my Backlash preview and predictions if you want my NXT TakeOver preview and predictions. And make sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button with a huge knee for Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano. Either one, but make sure to go hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell if you want notifications straight to your phone as well. So make sure to go do all that good stuff. Check out the Twitter channel where I tweet with these live events, NXT TakeOvers, Raws, Smackdowns, and tomorrow during Backlash, which I will be reviewing. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss my review for that, and if you want to get that right in your subscription boxes after that show goes off of the air. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. You can find all those videos I spoke of in the description below. For now, this has been Joel Perez. This has been your NXT TakeOver Chicago review and results video. For now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.